Joe, thank you so much for being with us, Joseph. So I know you raised your target. And look, it's like you raise it and it keeps going. I mean, what is going on here? Does Tesla deserve to be a $2,000 stock?
Well, obviously, my current price target is 1,500. I'm not and cannot speculate about what I'm going to do next. What I would like to do is try and give people a little perspective. I think people didn't fully appreciate the fact that this was becoming a major industrial enterprise, and now, I listened to one of your earlier speakers, talking a couple of years out. We did say, I think this can be a $100 billion top line company in a couple of years. And I think you're seeing the market get to grips with that reality.
So you're using words like, industrial company, 100 billion. We know Elon Musk has now surpassed Buffett today, as Tesla recently surpassed Toyota Motor. So there's a lot behind this. It's not just about some old electric vehicle car. What makes Tesla so special?
Well, I think what makes them special is that they have gotten to this market and they have demonstrated that they can make electric vehicles at scale, while at the same time, and I keep on saying this, when I look around, GM, Ford, Toyota, who has battery electric vehicles that can compete with this company? And the answer is really nobody, right? The only company that's maybe going to have something decent next year is going to be Volkswagen. So you look and you say, gosh, right, this company is still less than 1 million units a year in a global market that's 70 million, and they could get a whole lot bigger. They could be selling multiple millions of units, and it's not clear to me that anyone is going to be able to stop them. And again, I think that's what the market's starting to figure out here.
What do you say to all the people that are shorting it? Because, Tesla was really, you're a pro trader. You buy in at 400, you sell at 800, and that was sort of, I'm guessing, but that was around the range, right? And pro traders knew exactly how to do it, right? You bought at the bottom, you sold at the top of the range, and then you shorted it to go back down. It sort of stayed in that range. It is completely broken out of any, ceiling or resistance. And, there's still, I saw today even, there's a lot of short interest, and it really continues to build. What do you say to those folks?
Well, for starters, I would say I'm a fundamental equity analyst. I'm not sure I'm the world's best trader, to be honest. And obviously, the valuation is high. But what I find people do sometimes in looking at charts and thinking about the very short term is to miss the bigger picture. I've been at this a long time, right? I covered Intel when that company was driving into enterprises. I covered digital photography when that was just starting. This is a fundamental transformation in a major business. By 2030, there are going to be a lot more battery electric vehicles on the road than there are now. And the incumbents, the big companies, the big European and Japanese and American companies just cannot get their act together. And that's the story, right? I think if you understand that, if you say, I want to short a company that is realistically going to be, $110 billion company, fine. But that's why you short it, not because of the way the chart looks today and because of what you think of Elon, right? This is a fundamental transformation that doesn't come along that often.
I'm going through your note, and I know at one point you mentioned this briefly at the top. We believe that it's reasonable to expect Tesla to be a $100 billion company by 2025, shipping approximately 2.5 million units a year. So seeing that expansion happening, and what you're important to note, you're just saying what a small portion it is of the global market. 2.5 million units is a small portion of the global auto market. I'm thankful to you for these stats, Joe. This is great stuff. So now what happens going forward? 2.5 million units is a small portion. Then what? What happens in 10 years from now?
Well, they could get a lot bigger. And I'm going to give you another example. Again, I was covering Intel when that company just was selling desktop processors, and the enterprise at that point was dominated by companies like Sun and IBM. And people said, there's no way ever, that we're going to have the enterprise and server farms based on Intel processors. Well, guess what? They completely dominate that market, right? So could we be sitting here in 2025 debating whether Tesla is going to become a 10 or 15 million unit company? Yeah, we really possibly could. because I can't see how some of the incumbents can shed these enormous supply chains and cost structures they've got and figure out how to compete with them. One related point, one of the best competitors to Tesla I see right now is not even an incumbent. It's Rivian. That pickup truck's awesome. It's better than anything that any of the big existing companies have fielded.